Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Well, this month will mark 1 year anniversary since Google AI was released. Thought I would talk about my last year of Google AI searches. I started using Google AI in earnest when I was dating a distant cousin of Eve Curry. I call her a reincarnation. What had happened was that I had met a girl who loves literature. She's working on writing her own novel, and she is half Polish, and that's why I like to think of her as related to Eve Curry. Actually, not a reincarnation because she was born way before Eve Curry passed, but she was born on almost exactly the 100-year anniversary of the discovery of polonium 210. So it just really weirdly linked for some reason. That's just the kind of luck that I have sometimes. And so I like to think that Eve Curry had arranged it. And unfortunately, I've since discovered that she's much more introverted than myself. And I don't think AI has helped with that either. Uh, and I used AI a lot to brainstorm how to deal with her because she had a lot of anxiety. We'd be getting ready to go somewhere, and she would show up hours late. My guess is that she had anxiety about how she looked. She even straight up asked me if height would be a big problem. Right? She's very conscious about her height. Asked me if she should wear tall boots because of that. I was like, no, just be yourself. I hardly even notice any of that. And so I used AI to strategize a lot about that. I started using AI for my work as well. I was teaching an engineering class, which is a little bit outside of my area. I had several students who were chronically behind, making excuses, getting COVID every other week, losing a family member every other week, and I used AI to strategize how to talk to these people and put my foot down. Now, a lot of times, when students behave like that, the wackiness sometimes spills over into my life, and I take the heat for that. What had happened was that one day a student had texted me like, "Oh, thank God! I've been waiting so long." And long story short, I forgot about some other responsibilities I had that day. Because the only thing I can think of when I got the text message is that if I don't respond to let them take the test today, he was behind on a midterm exam. He was on campus, he was ready to take the test, and it was like if he didn't take the test today, who knows when he's going to come back, right? And just very upsetting situation. At the time, AI was still in its infancy. I didn't know how to deal with that. Took a trip to Taiwan, and during the trip, everything that could go wrong went wrong. I lost my passport. I thought for sure one of my roommates had stolen it. And the reason I thought that was because I was thinking back to what had happened a few years earlier. 7 years ago, I had taken a trip to Warsaw, Poland. And at the hostel that I was staying at, I was trying to make a move on the girl there. But this other guy just completely hijack the entire conversation. And he's one of those. He's really tall as well, and for some reason attracts a lot of attention. And I was upset at him. I was sitting at the table with him. He was sitting next to me, and his backpack with his passport sitting on top of it was in between the two of us. I so badly wanted to steal his passport and destroy it so that he would have trouble going home and make a fool of himself. I so badly wanted to do that. I literally had to cross my arms to resist the temptation to do that. And so 7 years later, when my own passport disappeared, I thought one of my roommates had stolen it. The night before, one of my roommates and I had gotten into a disagreement over some noises. And so I thought he had stolen the passport as revenge because I thought about what I had done 7 years earlier. I used AI to strategize how to replace the passport and all that. Finally, on the day that my aunt was going to take me to the place to replace the passport, it showed up at the hotel. Now, what was really frustrating was I didn't have a phone that would work, so I had to call every day to the hotel to find out what was going on. got the passport, but then a few days later, the because of the political situation, my credit card stopped working, and I was strategizing what to do. And I noticed that I had a lot of foreign currency in my bag from previous trips, including that ill-fated trip to Poland where I almost stole somebody's passport. And I was Googling where to exchange all that currency and all that. Google AI really helped me out with that. I got the currency. You know what happened? Somebody stole the money. I had 26,000 Taiwanese dollars, and I let my guard down because Taiwan is pretty safe. And I was sleeping, and somebody. Um, uh, I had all sorts of stuff in my bag, and all they stole was the passport. Can you believe that? I had, among other things, uh, some art that was made of precious metals. My computer was in there, my phone was in there, and my passport. All they stole was the money. I can't believe it. But I then went on a frantic Google AI search on what to do. Uh, I had to I had to swallow my pride and ask my uh, family to loan me some money. Google AI helped me sort that out, and then I figured out how to Western Union some money, and picked up the money, and I picked up, I think it was about 60,000 Taiwanese dollars. And as I returned to my family's home to return the money, I remember holding it like it was the most precious thing in the world. It was like I had found Yamashita's treasure, and I was holding on to it for dear life. Or better yet, I had poured a 1-ton bismuth crystal, one solid piece, right? Bismuth is very fragile, and I gotta hold on to that for dear life, right? When I got the money from the Western Union, and then I Google AI'd about how to return the money, how to thank my grandparents, and how to, and then my last trip the trip before that one, I had made a connection with a girl there. And I don't think it's anything romantic. I did a lot of Google AI deep dives into that as well. I returned home, unfortunately, as an adjunct professor. I sometimes have contracts that get canceled, get rescheduled. I AI'd a lot of that stuff too. I took a job at a tutoring center. I'm still there. One of my students had brought in a bag of Cheetos, gotten it all over her hands. I have food allergies. My heart was racing out of control. Situations like that have led to me losing jobs or leaving jobs before. Heart was racing out of control. I had to duck into the bathroom just to catch my breath. And then I pulled out my best friend to search what to do about it, right, on AI, right? And so AI gave me a lot of good suggestions as well. In the nick of time, I was in the bathroom searching what to do when I get out, right? And long story short, the student has become one of my favorite students. Unfortunately, I ran into wackiness with one of my colleagues. And I hate to go into too much detail here because it's an ongoing situation. Uh, One of my colleagues, her parents are working in some industries that I like. I hope to network with her parents, but I think she had other ideas for the situation between the two of us. Long story short, I'm still at the tutoring center. She's out. I don't know what she did. I really don't. I thought I was going to be the one to be fired over that. I really did. And I hate to go into too much detail because I don't know what's going on, and I hope the situation is not terminal. But long story short, I did a lot of Google AI deep dives into that too. A couple days ago, I had another upset at work. One of my other students had brought in a balloon. I am deathly afraid of balloons because I don't know when they're going to burst, and I'm bracing for that explosion during the whole class, and it just puts a big distraction. Now, am I going to die from that? No, but it really puts a drag on my performance when that happens, and AI agreed with me on that and suggested some ways to deal with that. And finally, I'm going to have to renegotiate things at work again now because of the situation with the gas prices because of Iran. And I want to see if I can consolidate some shifts and all that. AI helped me sort that out as well. AI actually suggested that I straight up bring up why I need to discuss this. It's just not worth going in there for a short shift anymore. It's nice that I have some resources, right? So that if I do need to take off for the time being during the high gas prices, I can. In fact, if I do end up having to take off, it will be an overall positive, I would think, because gas prices will be up. I won't have to commute there if I'm taking off, but some of the other assets that I own will also go up along with the oil prices, right? So it might not be the end of the world, and I can take it easy. I could make some art during this time, right? All right, please continue to pray for me. Continue to pray for good AI searches going forward by singing along with me, gesturing at your screen, and hitting the dislike button. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.